Max stood in the store holding two shirts, one blue, the other green. He couldn't decide which one to pick. His mind raced and his heart pounded. Growing up, Max never made decisions for himself. His parents told him what to do, what to wear, what to think. Now, as an adult, every little choice felt impossible. What if I picked the wrong one? He thought. Ben walked over. Max, why are you stuck? I don't know which one to pick, Max replied. I'm afraid of making the wrong choice. Ben smiled. Max, there's no such thing as a perfect choice. The fear of making the wrong decision keeps you stuck. Just pick one and move forward. You can always change your mind later. Max took a deep breath and chose the blue shirt. It wasn't perfect, but it felt right. Sometimes we get so caught up in fear that we forget the power of making a decision. The key is to take action, even if it's not perfect. Choosing is the first step towards growth.
Today, we'll be talking about what it feels like when things don't come easily, especially when you feel like giving up. This story is about Max, a bright and energetic boy who loves sports, but sometimes feels discouraged in school. Max found it hard to keep up in math, and sometimes he felt like he would never understand it. One day after school, Max slumped down on the kitchen table with a sigh. His mom noticed and sat beside him. "Hey, Max," she asked gently. "What's wrong?" Max looked up, his eyes filled with frustration. "I just can't get math, Mom. I try, but it never makes sense. Maybe I'm just not good at it." His mom gave him a soft smile. "You know, Max, there's a little magic trick that helps when things feel tough. Do you want to know what it is?" Max's face lit up with curiosity. "Magic? Really?" "Yes, really," his mom said, leaning in close, like she was sharing a big secret. "The magic word is yet. Whenever you feel like you can't do something, try saying, 'I can't do it yet.'" Max thought for a moment. "So, instead of saying, 'I can't do math,' I should say, 'I can't do math yet.'" His mom nodded. "Exactly. That little word reminds us that learning is a journey. Just because you can't do something right now doesn't mean you'll never be able to." The next day at school, Max sat in math class, staring at a tricky problem on the board. Normally, he would feel frustrated and want to give up, but today he whispered to himself, "I can't solve this yet." He tried again.
Lily had big dreams, a new bike, getting better at soccer, and going to the zoo with her family. Her teacher told her about a vision board, a place to put pictures or words of what you hope for. So Lily grabbed an old piece of cardboard and got to work. She cut out pictures of a shiny red bike, a soccer ball, and even a zoo map. Every day, she looked at her board, imagining herself riding that bike, scoring a goal, and feeding a giraffe. Later, things started happening. Her parents surprised her with a trip to the zoo, and her practice paid off with a winning goal in soccer. And on her birthday, there it was, a red bike just like the one on her board. Lily learned that writing down her dreams and believing in them could really make them come true. Sometimes all it takes is a little vision to bring dreams to life. Join me next time for another story on Inspired Shot.
On her way to school, little Mia noticed that her neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, looked sad sitting on her porch. Without thinking, Mia gave her the biggest smile she could. At school, Mia saw her classmate Anna alone. She walked over, smiled, and asked if she'd like to play together. Anna's eyes brightened up, and she nodded. By the end of the day, Mia had shared smiles with everyone she met. She didn't know it, but her kindness spread like sunshine, lifting everyone's spirits. When Mia got home, her mom said, "You seem extra happy today." Mia just smiled, knowing that something as small as a smile could make a big difference. Sometimes, the simplest acts of kindness can change someone's day. A smile doesn't cost a thing, but it can be the best gift we give. Join me next time for another inspiring story on Inspired Shot.
As a child, Zara loved playing outside with her friends. One day, they told her about a rare bird. If she caught it and killed it, she would find golden coins inside. They spoke about it so seriously that Zara believed them completely. For days, she searched everywhere hoping to find that bird. Every moment spent looking for it felt important, as if she were about to discover something amazing. But after many attempts, Zara realized the bird wasn't real, not in the way they had told her. Years later, as an adult, Zara was walking through the park when she saw that same type of bird sitting on a branch. Memories from her childhood rushed back. She started laughing, thinking about the excitement and the belief in the golden coins. Zara realized something important in that moment. The joy wasn't in finding the golden coins, but in the memories made during the search. The journey, with all its excitement and imagination, had been more valuable than the destination. Life often feels like we're chasing something big, but sometimes the joy is found in the journey itself. Live in the moment, cherish every experience, and make every memory count, even if things don't turn out as expected. Thank you for joining Inspired Shorts. I'll see you in my next video.
In primary school, Amina found herself in an unusual situation. The class she was meant to join was full, so she was placed in the next grade with older students. Being the youngest, Amina tried her best to be respectful and humble, hoping it would help her fit in. But instead of kindness, her classmates saw her humility as a weakness. They thought she was timid, and it led them to bully her, believing she was too shy to stand up for herself. Day after day, she endured hurtful words and actions. This treatment created an introverted sense in her. Even though, deep down, she was naturally an extrovert, she often sat quietly, holding back tears, wondering why she was being treated this way. Inside, these experiences affected her deeply. She felt alone and began to question her own worth, wondering why life had to be so tough. Sometimes, the challenges we face teach us valuable lessons. But there's more to this story than meets the eye. Stay tuned for what happens next. A surprising turn is just around the corner. Amina's life took her on a different path. She finished school and kept moving forward, building herself up despite the challenges she had faced. Meanwhile, some of her old classmates who had bullied her were dealing with struggles of their own. Some left school, while others faced life situations that had humbled them in ways they never expected. One day, Amina met a few of them again. Seeing how she had grown into herself, confident and strong, some of her old classmates approached her, hoping to reconnect. But memories of the past were still fresh in her mind. She had moved forward, but something inside her found it difficult to fully open up to them after everything she had endured. Ironic, a few of those classmates were now reaching out to her for help. Some needed assistance, others wanted support, and many simply wanted to reconnect. The same people who had once hurt her were now seeking her out in a different light. This story isn't just fiction. Life has a way of teaching us to be kind because we never know what the future holds. Amina's journey reminds us that strength grows through hardship, and sometimes kindness becomes the strongest lesson of all. Thank you for joining Inspired Shots. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Emma was a 12-year-old girl who loved helping others. She always believed that even a small act of kindness could make someone's day better. One day, a new student named Alex joined her class. He was quiet and often sat alone at lunch, looking a bit lost and shy. Emma noticed this and thought, maybe he just needs a friend. During lunch, Emma walked up to Alex and asked if he'd like to join her and her friends. Alex looked surprised, but smiled and said, sure. As they sat together, Emma and her friends asked him about his old school, his favorite hobbies, and what he liked about their town. As they talked, Alex's smile grew. He began to relax, and soon he was laughing with them. Emma realized how happy he looked, and it made her feel warm inside. Over the next few days, Emma continued to invite Alex to join her and her friends. She noticed little changes in him. He started speaking up in class, sharing his ideas, and even joining in some school activities. One afternoon, as they were all leaving school, Alex turned to Emma and said, thank you for being so kind to me. I was really nervous about starting a new school, but you've made it feel like home. Emma felt her heart swell with happiness. She hadn't realized that something as simple as inviting someone to lunch could have such a big impact. She smiled and replied, I'm glad, Alex. Remember, a small act of kindness can mean the world to someone else. Kindness doesn't have to be big to make a difference. Sometimes, just being there for someone can brighten their whole day.
What do you give to someone who seems to have everything? Emily found her answer in an empty box. Emily struggled to find a Christmas gift for her wealthy uncle. She decided to give him an empty box with a note inside. This is filled with prayers for you. At first, he seemed confused, but days later he called her, saying it was the most meaningful gift he'd ever received. He had been feeling empty inside despite his wealth, and Emily's prayers reminded him of God's love and purpose. The best gifts aren't always the most expensive. They're the ones filled with meaning and God's love. This Christmas, think about the gifts you're giving. How can you add meaning to them? Let us know your creative ideas. Kate hadn't spoken to her sister in 2 years. On Christmas Eve, she made a bold choice. Kate sat by the Christmas tree, scrolling through old photos of her and her sister, Emma. They hadn't spoken since a big argument. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, God, help me fix this. Taking a deep breath, she picked up her phone and called Emma. After a pause, Emma answered. They both broke into tears, apologized, and shared laughter, promising to see each other on Christmas Day. Don't let hurt feelings steal your joy this season. Reaching out can heal broken relationships. This Christmas, is there someone you need to reconnect with? Take the first step today. I watched as Ethan stood at the door, his backpack on his shoulders. It was his first day at high school, and she could see the uncertainty in his eyes. Are you sure I'll be okay? Ethan asked, hesitating before stepping outside. Maya smiled, trying to reassure him. Of course you will. High school is a big step, but it's also an opportunity to learn, grow, and meet new people. Just be yourself. Ethan took a deep breath, still unsure but feeling a bit more confident. By the end of the week, Ethan came home, a huge grin on his face. I made some awesome friends, and I actually like it there. I even want to go back tomorrow. He seemed excited, as if he'd found a place where he belonged. Maya looked at him with pride. I knew you could do it. It's amazing how much you can grow when you push
In a
yourself.
small, vibrant town named Harmony, there lived a young woman named Adwoa. She was known for her kind heart and big dreams of becoming a motivational speaker. Yet, despite her passion, Adwoa often doubted herself because of the voices she allowed into her life. "You're not cut out for this," her childhood friend would say. "People don't listen to women like us," a distant relative once remarked. Though she laughed it off, their words lingered, echoing in her mind. Day after day, they chipped away at her confidence until the vibrant dreams she once had seemed like a distant memory. One Sunday afternoon, after a particularly discouraging conversation, Adwoa visited her grandmother, Nana Ifua, who always had a way of making life's hardest lessons seem simple. Adwoa poured her heart out, sharing how she felt like a failure because of what people said. Nana Ifua listened quietly, then spoke. "My dear, your ear is like a womb. Whatever you let in will grow inside you and shape your future. If you listen to fear and doubt, that's exactly what you'll birth into your life. But if you listen to faith, hope, and wisdom, you'll birth greatness. Choose carefully what you allow to take root." The words struck Adwoa deeply. That night, she reflected on the voices she had been listening to. She realized that by letting negativity define her, she was giving power to people who didn't truly understand her journey. From that moment, Adwoa made a change. She distanced herself from the negative influences in her life, not with anger, but with purpose. She surrounded herself with uplifting messages, podcasts from inspiring speakers, positive affirmations, and stories of people who had overcome challenges. She even wrote sticky notes with affirmations and placed them on her mirror. "You are enough. Your voice matters." At first, the shift felt strange. Doubt still crept in, but Adwoa pushed through. Each time she heard a discouraging thought, she reminded herself of Nana Afua's words. Slowly, her confidence began to rebuild, and she started taking small steps toward her dream. Months later, Adwoa was invited to speak at a local youth event. Standing on the stage, she felt the familiar tug of doubt, but chose to focus on the positive voices she had cultivated. Her speech was simple, yet heartfelt, sharing the lessons she'd learned about protecting the womb of her ears. The response was overwhelming. Teens approached her afterward, saying how much her words resonated. A mother thanked her for inspiring her daughter. Adwoa realized that by guarding what she listened to, she had not only changed her life, but was now helping others change theirs. Years later, as Adwoa stood before thousands at an international conference, she smiled, remembering Nana Ifua's wisdom. Her life had been transformed by one powerful truth: what you listen to shapes your reality. Choose wisely. And so, Adwoa became a living testament to the power of protecting your ear, the womb where greatness begins.